All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together. That if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And today I got a super special show for me today. This is going to definitely be one of the super special shows for me because of my guest today. It's another wonderful day for me, and it was a super happy day. What was it? Shoot, it had to be a long time ago. So hopefully we'll find out in a second. So welcome me and help me welcome my guest to the stage. And let me put him on the stage. And here he is, my man. What's up, Will Jr.? How you doing, sir?
Lovely Jack. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh man, you're more than welcome. And today is a special day because today is your birthday. So happy
Yes, sir.
birthday to you. All right, all right. And so how old are you today?
29 years old.
29, man. Oof.
Yeah.
Good gracious, 29 years old. So, man, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm glad to have you up here on the stage with me. And so we're live. So this is your first time, even though you're back. This is your first time being on the StreamYard program, and we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and then we'll actually take this and recordings and we'll cut them up and put them on TikTok and Instagram after this is all over. So and so what we're going to do is when people start coming into the chat and things like that, we'll recognize those who are in the chat and say whatever they have to say. And it's just going to be a good day for us, a good day for you already. But it was definitely a super happy day for me because this was the day when you were born. And I appreciate you being on the stage on this day, your birthday, 29 years. Wow. So, so Junior, for the people who don't know you, for the people out there that don't know who you are, tell us a
Uh,
little bit about yourself. Who is William Jackson Jr.?
my name is William Jackson Jr. I am Coach Jackson, Will the Thrill, Lil Will, Chili Will. I got a lot of nicknames out there that people have given me over the years. Uh, I was born in Fort Stewart, Georgia. I'm a military baby. I don't really remember any of that part. I think I lived in Virginia a little bit when I was very young, but from what I remember, I was raised in West Virginia, and that's what really made my life there. A lot of family was around me. My mom, my dad, my aunts, grandparents, things like that. And I grew up with two brothers, and now that I have four brothers now. Uh, Growing up through life, I played sports since I can always remember. I ran track, basketball, football, baseball. I was very active, always outside. Uh, I graduated from West Virginia University. I got my undergrad in multidisciplinary studies, and that's when I really started my coaching career, my senior year. And now I'm working on my master's at Tennessee State University, where I also work at as a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay, all right. Well, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So you say you don't remember your military time because you're right. You were little. So I remember. It's funny that the first time you saw snow, because you were born in Georgia and we didn't see snow
Uh,
at all in Georgia. And if we saw snow, we was definitely in trouble. So, but we didn't see snow down there in that part of Georgia. And then when I got stationed to Virginia, and I remember you and one of your older brothers looking out the screen door when the snow was coming. It wasn't even a whole inch, but y'all could have sworn y'all was getting ready to go skiing. It was just amazing to see the first time seeing snow, and that was super cool. So I remember that as you was just a little kid then. So so now the breakdown. We know it's your birthday, so we're gonna say tell us about your childhood. So let's say your elementary days. Tell us about the the elementary days you and so we know you was a baby. We know you had your time, like say, born in Fort Stewart, Georgia. Like up there it is. So look at it. We know about these days right here. So when you was just that little one, and people holding you and things like that. But now we're going to the elementary days. So what was elementary like for you?
I had a good childhood. Like growing up, like I said, I was always active outside. When you're a kid, you don't know if you're poor, rich, middle class, whatever it may be. So like none of that affected me. Uh, when I was in elementary, I was probably one of the most athletic people in my school. When we go to gym class, was able to do everything. Growing up with a brother that is 1 year and some months older than me was always fun. Oh yeah, and I had some good friends. A lot of kids were in our neighborhood, so that's my one of my friends in the chair with me is Drew Cook. He used to say he was going to be my lawyer back when I was in elementary, and that other friend is Taylor Hypes. Just good people right there. Uh, yeah, that my whole goal was to be in the NFL, or not really in the NFL. I was just gonna be an athlete because I didn't know what sport I wanted to play because I wanted to play them all. So just being an athlete was the trajectory, and then people around me was very supportive of that, and that's why like Drew Cook said he wanted to be my lawyer. Then my brother Jaron he was going to be my bodyguard. So I had an
Yeah.
entourage. Yeah, I already had my entourage. I did a lot as a kid. Besides playing sports, I was in beauty pageants. Played the drums at church. We was very active in the community. Did Boy Scouts. Yeah, a whole lot of things. Worked at a bowling alley when I was a kid. Uh, yeah, my dad worked. He worked at the bowling alley. Then we'd be there all the time. So we ended up getting a job of just cleaning up and bowling for free, which is you don't even know about really handling money then. So we got to do what we wanted to do was to bowl and play all the video games we could while we were there. So
Right.
elementary, it was a good time growing up. It was a lot of fun.
No, that's good. That's good. So we want to recognize some of the people that's down in the chat before we move any further on that. So I want to say it's her sippy. So if I'm getting it wrong, please. And it says hello from Germany. So hello. I
Germany.
see Ravens down there saying happy birthday. Sharon Jackson down there. You know who that lady is.
Yeah,
Says somebody's getting
my
old.
grandma.
Okay. Edward Johnson. That's Captain Johnson. Desi's out there. Thank you, Desi, for being here. PMCA 1299. That's Uncle Paul right there. So that's your Uncle
Yeah,
Paul saying happy
my
birthday.
auntie saying
Yeah, Niecy Jackson down there, and of course Sharon Jackson said again, Big Jack and William, happy birthday to you. B's in the house, and that's what's that? What is it? 2075. That's when she gets out of jail. So that's B saying happy birthday. She gets out in 2075, but they allow her to get internet service so she can watch shows and also. But and then Niecy Jackson is already putting up the Grow and Glow together. So thank you, Niecy Jackson, for supporting that community because this is the Grow and Glow Together community. So we're going to ask you now to start putting that hashtag Grow and Glow Together in the chat. And if you do that, we add you to the giveaway list so that we can, at the end of the month, and I think this time it's going to be April 26th, we'll have the next giveaway. And so start putting your hashtag Grow and Glow Together in there so that you can get your name entered into the giveaway raffle or chat. So, or raffle. Now spin the wheel and we have a raffle for it. So anyway, so Will, elementary sounded good. I remember your days of elementary. You was definitely active. I remember you going to field day and things like that in the elementary school. I was your what was it, the PTA president. So I watched a
yeah.
lot of the stuff that you did, and I remember you coming back with all the ribbons and all of that. You always was super athletic
Undefeated in
and
the sack race.
undefeated in the sack race.
I
So
never lost a sack race
you definitely you know elementary career you never lost a sack race. So yeah, so now let's move on to the next level. So you're out of the elementary and you're going into middle school towards
ever.
high school. How was that for you?
Definitely a different experience. Middle school, I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but middle school was a little rough on our black kids because we experienced a little bit of racism while we were in school.
Hmm.
Some of my friends they got into fights over being called the N word and things like that. And I think it was just ignorance growing up on, how to treat others. And so, yeah, we experienced that. It wasn't like super bad. It was only a few kids in the school. And then, once they got to fighting, it ended because, we won. So you start to gain
Mhm.
respect on that end. But other than that, it was good. Friendships were formed. Sports were good. Played a lot of good football, good basketball. A lot of friendships that I still have now that were formed in middle school. It was a great bond. Still growing up like that, we're still involved in everything, involved in church, involved in Boy Scouts, the band, everything that we could be in. Pretty much, we were almost in, and that turned into moving into high school. The same flow, still in band, still in football, basketball, running track, and the friendships grow even bigger because you go from one school in middle school to three schools now combining into one high school, and so the people that we used to play against and talk trash against, now we're going to class with. Now they're your teammates, and you start forming new friendships. And once when you're in sports and when you're in band and show choir and things like that, you get a whole different friend group in school. So, I could walk around the school and I have, you know, 10 different groups of friends because of what everything I was involved in. And
Mhm.
then, once you get outside of school, going to church and my community, it's a whole different vibe too because some of those kids went to different schools, and then just the people in my community were so close that we knew each other for from birth, really.
Okay, wow. So now you're saying that while in middle school you experienced some, some okay, racial tendencies or racial disagreements and things like that. We use disagreements.
Yeah,
And you were born in what year? So what year was you born? You remember your year?
1996.
1996. Yeah, so 1996. So I had to do some research for you. So we're gonna pull it up, see how what things was like in 1996, which really, really, really wasn't that long ago, but it's been 29 years. So 29 years. 1996. And make sure I got the right thing and see. Boom, there we go. So in 1996, if you didn't know, new house in 1996 was 118,000 dollars. That was the new house in 19, and this is the average across. This is not the this is not just your area where we lived at that time. So the average income was 36,300 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not what I had. That wasn't my average income, but somebody was making some good money, so that's average.
Yeah.
That means I was on the. And I'm glad you said as a kid you didn't recognize if he was poor. We were poor. So I'm just let you know we I didn't make that. I made half of that. That was my I made half of that right there. Yes, 100%. I have a video out there that says what I made when I first got out the military, and it was 18,120. So
Oh,
and that's half right there. That was it. So a new car at that time was $16,300. So that's the average rent, $554 per month. Oh man, that's not too bad. So look at tuition at Howard University, 22,575. A movie ticket back then, $4.42 in
yeah, a lot
1996.
higher now.
Uh, gas was $1.22 a gallon, and a postage stamp was 32 cents each back in 1996. All right, so let's see. Sugar for a 5 pound bag of sugar, $1.25. It's not that anymore.
No.
Milk, $2.58. It's not that bad though. There's not that much difference in the milk. It depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
A pound of coffee, $3.43. So that's oof. Bacon was 2.46. Eggs was 82 cents a dozen in
Definitely not that.
1996. I guess we had plenty of chicken back then because well, healthy chicken because eggs
Yeah.
was only 82 cents a dozen. Fresh ground hamburger at a pound was $1.36, and then
Man.
fresh baked bread was $1.15 for a loaf of fresh baked bread. and that's so those numbers are a little bit different. Back then, somebody said it was an Els Endeavor said, I look at those prices of eggs in '96. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
82 cents for eggs back in 1996 is crazy because that really wasn't that long ago, and the eggs are I mean, eggs now are more than shoot a movie ticket.
yeah.
Keep going up. It's yeah. So eggs is definitely way off the chain now. So, but did you know that those were the prices back then? Did you ever look at that before?
Not really. Probably closer to when I was like in elementary and stuff. I would notice like gas and things like that. I remember when gas was like $2.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that was the lowest I remember gas being. Yeah,
So I got one for you. And this is a flashback on you. So you remember when you was a kid and the Lord's Prayer? Do you remember the Lord's Prayer?
yeah,
Do you remember hearing the part of, let me see, give us this day and what you said after that part? So, give us
yeah.
this day, and you made a comment of what?
I think
Do you remember?
it says daily bread, but I used to say jelly bread.
Yeah, so the junior said, "Don't forget the jelly bread." So he thought it was jelly bread and not daily bread. But yeah, that was super cute, man. So I remember because your brother was trying to say the Lord's Prayer, and then you told him make sure he don't forget the jelly bread. So that was cute. So 100%, I can remember that because we need that. We need that jelly bread. Got to get some jelly bread.
Yeah.
It makes it all go down better when you put some jelly on it. So yeah. So and then you say you're in high school and you play ball. So let's see if we can get a flashback of what you look like in high school days. Let's see if we can pull up a high school. So that was you back in the high school days.
Yeah, that was my
So what's
sophomore
going
year.
on with the sophomore year in high school? What's going on with the big shoulder pads, man? They're bigger than you.
So yeah, if you know about football when you're playing on JV, you don't get the first choice of pads or helmets. So you get the hand me downs. So yeah, that
I
was my
got
hand
you.
me down pads right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I see the jersey is something four. What was your jersey number?
Yeah, 34 runs in the
34.
family.
All right. What's that? What's that? What's that? I appreciate
So
that.
yeah,
So
yeah, my
yeah, I
dad,
wore
my dad wore 34.
yeah, I wore that jersey number. I had a lot of numbers too. So, but 34 was one of my jerseys. That was the last jersey I put on was 34. I guess. I mean, I think in the semi-pro days, I think I flipped it around. It was 43. But yeah, but yeah. So 100%. And I take it you enjoyed being a bit out on the field and playing. What position did you play?
Yeah, I played running back, kickoff return, and punt return, and I played cornerback and safety sometimes.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's what's up. That's what's up. So and then like I say, you went to a high school, and you said during your time in high school they consolidated all the high schools together. So
All our
was that
yeah,
just
we had
to,
three middle schools that were
oh, they put three
consolidated.
middle schools together to make one high school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so and would that cause a lot of friction or a lot of, I mean, or did it help the situation or did it make the situation harder or tougher?
It was actually pretty good. I think a lot of the kids grew up playing each other anyway in little league. So once you get to middle school, you still play each other, but they still had that connection with each other. And then once you get to high school, you kind of know each other from just being around different communities that are close to each other. So there wasn't a lot of friction. The only friction you get is guys trying to date girls, and you run into that problem. But
Right.
other than
Yeah,
that,
because
no
I guess
friction.
like I knew them in middle school, and now we're in high school. Now you trying to see them for the first time and try to holler. Are
Yeah,
you good? You good?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right.
I hit
So
the table.
now, what's wrong?
I had hit the table.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, getting excited about your football days. Don't take nobody out now. So now we're in college. So we're in your college days, and you said you went to West Virginia University. Is that where you
Uh-huh.
started, or that's where you graduated? So how did that work for you?
Yeah, I actually started out in West Virginia State University. It's an HBCU in West Virginia. I started out playing football there. Then my coaches got fired, so I transferred to West Virginia University just to finish school. And I was pretty much I love playing sports. I didn't really like going to school at this
No.
point. So I was ready to just graduate and start my career. And I knew I wanted to be a coach. I just didn't know what I wanted to coach. I thought I was going to be coaching football or basketball, one of them. And then when I got to West Virginia, that's when I figured out that strength and conditioning was an actual career. And I figured that out because of one, West Virginia had strength coaches. They had about 4 or 5 strength coaches. And then one of the D2 schools that I played, they had just brought in a strength coach. I think it was his second year there. And that's who I worked under for my senior year.
Mm, okay. All right. So now, you play at the West Virginia University level, or
No, I
did you
didn't
say?
play. A lot of my friends wanted me to walk on, but when I looked at the roster, they had already had 5 running backs, and they had 2 of them that were returners, and one of them had just, I think it was the Big 12. He had just won first team Big 12. So I'm like, the reps are going to be real low, real scarce. He's going to get a lot more reps than he
Mm,
did the previous year. And then they brought in another running back who was a transfer from, I think, like Oklahoma State or something. So it was a lot going on in that room itself. And then the kick returner too. He was a returner too. So it's going to be real tough to play. But I did end up playing semi-pro football.
okay. So you did. That wasn't the end. So you played some semi-pro. All
Yeah, I
right.
played
So
football.
that's now. A question was asked to me years ago, but is semi-pro real football, or is it just a bunch of old people trying?
It can be real football. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad in semi-pro.
I
The
got you.
league, the first league I was in was a half and half. We would play some teams and they would show up late or they would show up and then a bunch of other people would show up, different jerseys, different everything. We're just like, what is going on? And I think they were coming from different games just to play on the
Hmm,
team. And we would be a little bit more organized.
right.
The second year I played, which changed to the Gridiron Developmental Football League, they were a lot more serious on how they ran everything, and it was structured. We had an All Star game, we had championships, like everything had to be structured, and that's what made it real good to play in that league.
Oh, that's good. I remember when they asked me that same question, and I'm glad you gave that answer that you gave, because I asked the person when I said, "Have you ever heard of a semi truck?" And they like, "Yeah." Like, well, that's semi football. It's a real truck. Get in front of a person running the ball or trying to make a tackle and see if they're not real players hitting you. So that that was the whole thing right there. Real
Yeah,
injuries, real pain, real everything that comes out of the game when you're playing at the semi-pro level. I mean, it's an opportunity to continue to play. Some people was using it as a way to get into college. Some people
yeah, yeah.
was keeping themselves in shape for the next trials for the pro level and things like that. But it is real football. So don't, when you see people and they're like, well, that's not real. Like, oh, it's real. It's just,
It's real.
just used to seeing that Sunday afternoon football and that Monday night football in some college, but it is real. So don't ever think that it's not real. But that's pretty cool, and I'm glad that you were able to get there. So now, how did you get into college? So was it sports that got you in, or was it any other type of programs, anything that got you into school?
Both, both. Uh, I went through a program in high school called HISTA, which is Health Science Technology Academy. You go through three years of this program, and they end up paying for your tuition if you stay in state for any school that's in state. And what we had to do in HISTA was we would do an annual project on different things that would affect our community or help our community. So a couple of the years I were in it, I did a project about fast food and how it affects your performance. And I would use some of my teammates and we would do different studies. So one group would eat only fast food for a week, and then we would do like 3 tests. So we do like a mile run, 40-yard dash, and like a 5-10-5 or something like that. And we would take the test before, have them eat their food for a week straight, and then retest. And we have different groups. So one group would be eat whatever you want, and then one group would just be like you only could eat healthy food. We would have a menu for them that they had to choose. And so we found that was part of it. And then so I had two options when I was in college, or when I was going to college. I had a preferred walk-on offer to Marshall, and I had a partial scholarship to West Virginia State. I had called both coaches the same day. I was calling the coach at Marshall really to tell him that I wanted to go to Marshall because my brother Jaron was at Marshall, and my friend, he was going to play soccer at Marshall, so we was going to be roommates and had it all set up. So I called the coach at Marshall. I got his voicemail, left him a voicemail. I told him to call me back. So I waited till like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, no call. And I accidentally called the coach at West Virginia State. And I hung up real quick, and it didn't even dawn on me. Then he called me back like 7:30. And when he called me, I could hear his kids in the background. And he was like, "Everything good? Did he was just talking to me." And I'm like, if a coach would call me and he has his kids running around in the house and everything, I want to go play for him because I know he's
Mm.
serious about us, and I know he has his priorities and going on. So I ended up signing to West Virginia State.
Okay. All right. Hey, and that's it's funny in a college, I guess a high schooler, because you hadn't even got into college yet. But that's what you were thinking. If this guy's gonna call me even when he's doing family time, then
Yeah.
that's that's it. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool because you sometimes you did think about it. You're not just a number. You're not just one of the players on the team. He's looking at you as a player on the team. So like to the point that he's even calling you to see if everything's all right. So that's good. That's good to hear and to find out. Um, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We'll recognize those people that's in the chat, and then we're going to get a little deeper into the conversation because we're still in college, and we're getting ready to graduate, I believe. So let's see where we are. So let's do a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back on the Iron Shopping and Iron Show with my son William Jackson Jr. on his 29th birthday. So we'll be back. All right, welcome back to the Iron Shopping and Iron Show. I'm your man Big Jack, and I got William Jackson Jr. with me. And today is his 29th birthday, and we're just here. We're just breaking down these 29 years. And we see Sharon Jackson's in the chat, and she's saying very interesting because I'm sure she's learning things as well. And I'm gonna ask you again, Will, and but we got Desi still out there. We thank you, Desi, for being here. I know B is in the house, Anisi Jackson's in the house, L's Endeavor is here, and I know Captain Johnson is here, and we thank you for being here on the Iron Shopping and Iron Show. Her sippy, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm probably and I'll please forgive me. It's not personal. Raven Parr is in the house, and thank you, Raven, for being here. And then Aquatics News Network is in the house. So you said the program was called HISA. Now, what did it stand for? What was the letters again?
Health Science Technology Academy.
Now, is that similar to the STEM program now, or is it was different from STEM?
It's probably a little different from STEM. STEM is probably more geared towards the technology, really, like robotics, things like that. I think HISTA was more geared on ways that we can provide kind of a service to the community that was around us.
Hmm. Okay, that
Yeah, I
makes
think.
sense. And because of that program, you said they actually paid uh, some of your tuition for school.
Yeah, I got my whole tuition was paid for. Yeah,
Oh
all
wow,
4 years. All 4 years. Yeah.
that's an awesome program, and all you had to do is go to school in state.
Yeah, if you went to a public school that was in state, because their whole
Okay,
goal was to get these people to get a degree, and then you would kind of stay in state with a job that was in health science or technology. So
okay,
we're looking out doctors and dentists, coaches like me, someone in the help nurses, people in IT, things like that. So just everybody was getting the opportunity to actually go to school and have their tuition covered.
okay. All right, that's proof. Now I'm a question, and I guess it's So you went into coaching. So are you? What type of coach are you? I know you was on the show before. And we talked some more about, but uh, that was 1,000 years ago. So now, what are you coaching? What's your specialty in coaching?
I'm a strength and conditioning coach, so I train the athletes in all things strength and conditioning. That's movement. That's running, whatever their sport requires, and all the different exercises that go on in the weight room.
Okay. Oh wow, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna ask you this, because I spent some time in the weight room. I used to go in that thing a lot when I played. It's been a while since I've been in there. No, I'm not gonna lie, but do you have to be strong to be a strength and conditioning coach?
No, you don't have to be strong to be a strength and conditioning coach. We're in all different likes and sizes. There's all types of different people in that room who can coach very well, and some of the strongest people coach pretty bad. so,
All right. So
so yeah,
so well, are you one of the strong, or I mean, so it has to impress the players if the coach can do what you asking them to do. So can you do it?
yeah. So I can do on both ends. I'm more an athlete in the drills, like the change of direction or the speed drills. I can do all of that very well as lift. So that's where I get more of my respect. It's because they're like, "Oh, we didn't know you can move that fast," or "We didn't know you can move that well," because they don't
Also,
ever.
the players are impressed because you can still move a little bit, even at
Yeah,
29 years old. So
yeah, yeah,
I got you. I got you. So I'm gonna pop one up on the screen. Let me see. What's this one? So this is you graduating college?
yeah. This is me
Or
graduating from West Virginia University.
okay, all right. So that's what's up. I like that. I like that picture. So you look like a studious person, like you knew
Yeah.
something about the books as well. Okay, all right. So now you said the players are impressed when they see you able to do some of the things. So I got a video of you, and I'm gonna pop it in here, and I want you to help me and explain some of this. Next, you don't have to explain, but we're gonna pop it on the stage, and so. Okay. That looked like it was a lot of weight going on up there. So what were we dealing with that?
Yeah, that's actually one of my PRs right there. That was 605 pounds
Oh
on the
wow!
back.
Oh wow! Okay,
Yeah. A
man,
funny story
that's
about that.
okay. Go ahead, tell it. Let's go.
Let's see. I think that was during COVID, so it wasn't a lot of people in the gym. I actually was in the office taking a nap because we had just got done with training some of the athletes, and so we had this gap in between the day, and then we would go train together, like all the interns and the staff. So it was probably what 6 or 7 of us there at the time. Yeah, so I was taking a nap. I woke up from a nap. They were already training, and they came in and was like, "Hey, we're going to PR. You want to join in?" So they're already halfway. They're like in 300s, 400s. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll just jump in." Jumped in. I'm like 300, hit it, and we just kept going up from there. So I think I did 550 before that, and that was my PR. So I hit it wrong. They were like, "Yeah, you got to go up." So they're like, "You might well just do 600." So I was like, "You know what? Let's do it." Put it on, hit it, and they were like, they just everybody walked out. They were like, "How can you do that? Just waking up from a nap?"
That's pretty cool though. No, that is good. So you're saying that your personal record PR personal record is 605.
6:05. Yeah.
Okay, so did that's impressive. That really is impressive because a lot of people cannot put 605 pounds on their back and go down. And the thing that I know when you sent me that video, I fussed at you. So yeah,
Yeah.
I fussed at
Yeah.
you. Why did I fuss at you?
I didn't have a belt on.
You didn't have a belt on. Yes. So I'm gonna put that video back up on the stage, and I want everybody that's in the chat to look. He's doing this without a belt, so you should have had a belt on, and that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I had to fuss a little bit at him, and it wasn't. I'm super impressed that he did the weight, and it wasn't all about that. It was the fact that no spotter. There you go, Desi, and he said he had no spotter, no
Yeah.
belt, no brace. I'm like, man, and you just
So
woke up from a nap. I didn't even know about the nap part. So, but
the knee
no,
sleeves, the knee sleeves help. They
yeah,
helped
yeah,
out a
yeah.
lot.
Having the sleeves and wrapping your knees is perfect and this and that. And I know a little bit about lifting weights, just a little bit. So that's why, I'm like, when I first saw it, the first thing I saw was, where's your belt? And that's, it's just because you don't want to injure
Yeah.
yourself, even, especially when you're going for a personal record, because you already know that you're putting your body to the max. This is far. So without that, just knowing that you don't have a belt on and you're not in a suit, you probably could have 650 or 655 is
Yeah.
probably where you
Yeah.
be at, because with the belt and the suit, that would definitely and if those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a squat suit that you can actually put on that will also help you with the support that you need to go down and come back. So Sharon Jackson said, "What was your personal record, Big Jack?" So she's trying to throw me under the bus, but it's okay. It's all right. So my personal record was 700. So I had
Yeah.
700 on
Yeah.
the squat. So that was my personal record. But I am a little bigger than
Yeah,
Will
a little
Jr.
bigger
So
than
pound for pound, 100% pound for pound, Will Jr. has the pound for pound record for his body weight and size, and able to put up 605 pounds with all the things we just talked about. And then for me to even having that 700 is pound for pound, he has me for sure. So again, I tip my hat to you. So 100. I still hold a record in the state of West Virginia for the deadlift.
700 still ain't
Yeah,
light.
yeah, 600 is not
700.
light. Heck no. No, no, no. So 600 is not light. But when I used to do competition lifting when before you were born, I was doing it in the military. And you never had opportunity to see it. You seen the results, the trophies and all,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
never had the opportunity. So for you to get into it like you are, a lot of that, and it's only, I would say, genetic in a sense, but it's just you. It's all you. I mean, it's the life that you have to live. It's funny because you're all, like I say, head and shoulders. You have no neck
Mhm.
because that's just part of the lifting. So you lose your neck and all that stuff
Yeah.
because your trapeze is so big and your shoulders so broad. You don't have a neck anymore. So those are the things that just happen. But it's cool that you was able to do it, and I'm sure those who were there It's super impressed to watch you be able to put that weight and to see the bar bending off your shoulders and the
Yeah.
weight dangling on you, and that's super impressive. So, what was your bench? So that's a lot of people want their arms and chest and forget the rest. So, what's your bench? I guess personal record for that one.
My bench now, I think it's 320 now. I was stuck at 275 for a long time,
Mm,
and then again, like one random day, I was like, I'm gonna just do 315, and I got it.
mm,
Boom. And so it was recently. I just hit like 320, but I don't
yeah.
really bench like that anymore. I'll still
No.
get a
Yeah.
little heavy on squat, but for bench, I never. I can still probably get to 320 without benching for a while. Just get back
Mm,
to. But it comes
yeah.
with doing all the other exercises like push ups, chin ups, rowing, everything like that. You still maintain strength that way.
Yeah, that 100%. So yeah, it's a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of other exercises that go into getting your bench. All of those lifts. You
Yeah.
have to be able to. Your shoulders got to be strong enough to put the weight up on there. I remember when I was in college and coming off a broken back and trying to rehab and getting back into the squatting and things like that. So I used to, when I put the weight all the way across my back, it would leave a big whelp across my back where the bar was. It was like like somebody just hit me with a stick across my back. So I remember
Yeah.
going to my strength coach and saying, "So now you're my strength coach. Just imagine you're my strength coach, and I'm coming up to you asking for a pad. Like, do you got a pad or something I could put across there?" And my
Uh,
strength coach, he was kind of mean. He got the job done, but he was kind of mean. He was like, "They got pillows at the Holiday Inn." I'm like, "What? What? I just need a pad." So he tried to tell me, "Hey, they got some pillows at the Holiday Inn. Like, if I need a pillow to get the job done." I'm like, "I don't need no pillow, but I don't like the whelp across my back, but it's okay."
yeah.
But that's good that you're able to. I don't think now, if I was to get under there, could I get, well, I could probably get 315, but I don't know. I don't know. My wrist's kind of weak now, so it's just a lot of wear and tear. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask you this because there's some people out there that might have some kids that's trying to get into it, or they even thinking about getting into
Uh,
lifting and all. But what's a good age to start? What do you think is a good age to start? Not so much now that I'm older, but a good age to start. What would that be?
well, honestly, there's a lot of research out there about this, and you can start kind of early, like 5 years old. You just slow progress, slow progress. Like a lot of people think you have to use a barbell, and that's weight training, which is false. You can do a whole lot without a barbell. I train a few kids, and we do nothing but body weight. You got to do perfect body weight squats, perfect push ups, perfect lunges. And we just start there and we keep the same progression. I might choose 6 exercises and they have to do that over until they get it perfect. And then we'll start to move up. Like I even have some college kids, they won't start with the barbell. They never used it, they never had it in their hands before. So, we have to refine that technique, and that's
Mm.
pretty much the base of it. You build up a foundation, and then you can do what you want later on.
Nah, that makes sense. So, what is the a universal barbell? A universal barbell.
Mhm.
So, what's the weight of the universal barbell?
Yeah, barbells are 45 pounds, universal.
45 pounds. So, for those who didn't know, if you're in there and you're just seeing someone with the bar, that's all they have is the bar going across, and that's it. That's 45 pounds. So that's how it
45.
starts. Before you put one plate on the side, it's already 45 pounds. So that's what we try to tell a lot of people. Don't just go in there and like especially younger kids or even uh, people just getting started because of the fact that that's 45 pounds before you start, and then you start putting the weight on. So if you see a person with 5 pound plate on each side, don't laugh at them and joke them because they only got, look at them. That's still 55 pounds. So, and
Yeah,
the more you add on, of course, the harder it's going to get or the heavier it's going to get. And then you might have a problem. And I'm sure you could tell us about that, Will, about the the one arm stronger than the other arm. So one side
Yeah.
is going up. So you're saying perfect, meaning both arms come down together, go back up together, or even with the push up, not using perfect form and making sure that you get the full workout and everything in it. So, but that bar by itself, and that's with no collars, it's 45 pounds. And
Yeah.
then once you start adding stuff on, then you start doing the math. So you see a person with the 45-pound plates on each side. So that's 45 and 45. Of course, that's 90 pounds plus the 45 pounds. So now we're already into the 100, 130,
Wow.
135 pounds, So, and that's how it adds up. And then the more you add, of course, the more weight it comes. So I remember when I hit my uh, 400 on the bench. So I hit 400 on the bench, and all they added was 2.5 pounds on each
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
2.5 pound plates on each side, and that thing almost buckled me. It almost caved my
Yeah.
chest in. And I'm like, what the heck? And it's like, and that same strength coach, you like, shoot, anybody can get a bag of sugar because he's like a 5 pound bag of sugar. There's only 5 pounds difference. I said, yeah, but it's the other 400 pounds that they're not carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boy.
we'll take
Yeah.
a bag of sugar. It's 400 pounds
Big
of
difference.
stuff. Yeah. So, but it almost caved my chest in. So, but anyway, but so we see that you're strong. So that's good as a coach, and you was able to knock that weight out. And we know this is of course your birthday celebration, and you're on the live show. And I appreciate you being here with me. And we're just talking back and forth about your. So where did you go? How did you graduated college? Your strength coach. Now, what was some of your journeys? What were some of the places you've been?
Yeah. So my first opportunity was at Fairmont State, which was about 25 minutes from West Virginia University. I was doing that my senior year in college. It really started out with one of my professors was telling me, well, we had a class, we had to do an internship. So he was asking me what I was going to do. And a lot of the kids were going private sector, which is, commercial gyms or, own gyms. And they were going to train, personal train people. And I really didn't want to do that because I wanted to be around the sport aspect. So uh, we didn't have a lot of options. I tried to get in with West Virginia. I emailed them. Then, got one email back. It said, email me in January and I'll try to get you in. Emailed them in January, didn't hear nothing back. So my professor, Guy Hornsby, he told me, he said, how about you try to reach out to Fairmont State? So I knew about Fairmont State because I played them in football. So I didn't know they had a strength coach. Typed it in website. He pops up. I email him what I wanted to do. He emailed me back same day. He's like, "Yes, I'd love to have you. Come down." It was the next day. Come down. Watch the training session. It was at 7 a.m. It was summer training. So I go down there. I'm watching the training. And I'm like, "Yeah, this is what I want to do." So I got in. Literally day 3 of me being there. He's like, "All right, you got a coach." So we had the freshmen coming in, and we're coaching power cleans, and that's one of the most technical technique lifts that you can coach. And so I'm like, I don't want to mess up, so I'm trying to say the right things. I'm listening to him on how to coach and everything like that. So he said I did a good job that day, and that's when I fell in love with it, and I got to spend the whole semester with them throughout the football season. After that, I ended up at Robert Morris University, which is in Pennsylvania. So I moved from West Virginia to Pennsylvania. It's a town right outside of Pittsburgh, probably about 15 minutes from Pittsburgh, called Moon Township. And I got my first start there. I was working with probably over 8, 9 sports at the time. So different sports, not just football. They had basketball, lacrosse, softball, hockey. I was working with all types of sports, which was that was fun in itself. Long hours, long hours. But working with different sports gives you a different insight on just people because like football, you can be a little bit tougher on the athlete in the building. We can use don't be soft a lot, or go harder, go harder, because in football you got to face through adversity, you got to face through different trials and tribulations where you need to push through and use the weight room as that tool to go through that. When you're playing, lacrosse and softball, it's a different sport. You got different people. You go from male to female. Same with lacrosse. We had men's and women's. So the men's team, they had a whole different culture. Their culture was a real brotherhood. Like, it was cold one day. It was probably like 20 degrees. One guy forgot his hoodie. And they all stood up at the top. One guy forgot his hoodie. Everybody took their hoodies off. And then they run down the stairs and we would start the session. And it's like we all got to be the same. We're all one brotherhood. And then
Right.
softball's like that too, where they were close together. A lot of them came in together. So when we got there, it was like their second year all being together. And so you learn just how different cultures are and how different teams work. After Robert Morris, I moved to Brownwood, Texas. And if you don't know anything about Brownwood, Texas, that is where the bulls are and the cows, the chickens. That's real Texas. And what was a little crazy about that story, I got a two-part story. I turned down a free trip to Japan to start my career at Brownwood, Texas. Uh, you know, one reason I did it is because I wanted to bet on myself a little bit. And so I took the chance. I just took the chance to go out there by myself. I had a cousin that lived in Dallas, which I'm thinking it's a lot closer to me. It was 3 hours away. Dallas and Brownwood, totally different places. You get the city, you got the country. So that was a different experience. The heat, a different experience. You talking about in the morning time, it'd be 100 degrees. And by the
Wow.
time you get to 12 o'clock, the sun is beaming on your forehead, 120, 120, summertime, you know. So, yeah, that was different. Good times, though. I changed the program there. I was the first graduate assistant in program history. The coach there, he was the first strength coach at that school, and we changed a lot of the teams there from losing seasons to winning seasons. We changed football. They went from 1-9 to a 5-5 team, and they continued that stability now that we're gone. So that was great. From Texas, I moved back to Pennsylvania, literally 1 year apart, 1 year, and yeah, my boss that was at Robert Morris, he was still there. He called me back. He said, "Hey, I know you was an intern when you were there. How you want to come be an assistant coach?" So I came back, and with him, I liked how he ran things, and I figured I grew a lot more. I grew a lot from being at Howard Payne University. I was running my 6 teams by myself, and then I helped with 6 teams. So I wanted to see how good I was coming back on the Division 1 level, because Howard Payne was a Division 3 level, and it was a good decision because it got me to Tennessee State University, and that's where I am now.
All right. All right. So that's a lot of moving around, but it's all in the same career field. So you're right where you want to be, and that in that industry that you're in, moving is not a bad thing. That's just part of growth and
Part
the
of the
different,
game.
yeah, part of the game. So now that's good. That's good. So we're gonna take a quick break. I do see that we have a special guest that want to pop up here with us and hang out with us for a little bit. So I know normally we see this during the after show, but we're right next to that anyway. So we're gonna get that going on. So before we take this break, we got Desi still out there hanging, and he made the comment that he said my stepsister's in Brownwood, too far from Dallas. It
Yeah.
says just next door, but it ain't just next door. And then he also threw up there, or they threw up there, nice then Tennessee State, cool. So that's where you are now, Tennessee State. I know Sharon Jackson's in the house. I see Blessed Crochet is in the house, and thank you, blessed for being here. So we keep. Uh, Sorry, B is still in the house, and thank you, B. Karen Jackson said, "Happy birthday! Enjoy your day, William." Edward Johnson, Captain Johnson's in the house. So we keep going on. I know Niecy Jackson was in the house. Her Sippy, and I'm gonna stop trying on that one. So here we go. I'll get it right one day. Els Endeavor was here, and I know we had Raven Parr here, and I hope we got everybody. And if I didn't, please forgive me. Paul, PMCA 1299, Uncle Paul's in the house. And I think that's it. The Aquatic News Network. So right now we're gonna bring to the stage this person. I know you know this person that's popping up here. What's up with your bad self? Heavy Hitters Band. How you
What's
doing, sir?
what's happening? Happy
What
birthday,
up? What
Will the
up?
Thrill. What's up, boy?
Appreciate it. What's
Yeah,
good?
For all of y'all that don't know, Coach Will, he is known as now. But before Happy birthday!
Thank you. Hey, Lyric.
Before he was Coach Will, he was Will the Thrill. Daddy. I will.
Hey,
Say happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let's do it on three.
thank you.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
yeah,
Will, you need to come down for my next soccer game. Yeah, you need to come down for my birthday party. It's at Wawawama. Okay. But before he was Coach Will, he was Will the Thrill. He was a drummer for the Heavy Hitters. So for all the band members that have gone through the Heavy Hitters and the current ones right now, we would just want to wish you a happy birthday, my brother.
Appreciate you.
Let's do it on three all together.
yeah. But no, thank you, Pharaoh Keys for the don't know, but yeah, Will the Thrill. He's like I say, he was Chili Will from his days of singing with the men's choir in church. And the
Yeah,
song, our
yeah.
favorite song was Chili Winds, and he would come in and sing and be Chili Will. So that's why I always call him Chili Willie. So, but that was the thing. So, Jay, do you remember the Lord's Prayer and Will and the don't forget the jelly bread?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the jelly bread.
the jelly bread. So now, yeah, but now we're celebrating. We're not celebrating, but we're here. We got Will um, Junior on the stage right now. We're talking about some good times, I guess, going through his life cycle, college. He said he turned down a trip to Japan, and he did, so he could go to Brownwood, Texas. But look, as long as you got a purpose. But he didn't turn down this trip. So where we at here? You remember this one?
Yeah, I remember that. That's when I graduated college, 2017, and I didn't turn down this trip. Took the trip to London, which turned into a trip from London and Paris, and then we traveled through some more places around, which that's Stonehenge, and we went to
Hey,
Bath, a
I'll be
couple other
quiet.
smaller places that
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
at.
So
Yeah,
now you was able to go see a play while he was out there, wasn't you not? In London. But you remember that
yeah,
play?
Hamilton.
Oh
Yep,
yeah. So
Hamilton.
you got to go see Hamilton while you was in London. That's pretty cool. But but no, so that's pretty cool. So we're at the point, we're at the end of the show. So this is the end of the actual regular show, but then we'll go into the after show in a brief moment. You able to hang with me for the after show?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Let's
and I'll
do it.
put Jay back up on the stage. Jay, can you hang for the after show for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I'm
Will,
in.
before we break to the after show, I'm gonna ask you a question. So, if you was talking to a kid now who was getting ready to, let's say he's in middle school, getting ready to go into high school, what advice would you give a person that's getting ready to go into the high school world?
I would say bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. Say you are your own person, and you want to just make your own pathway. Do whatever you have a passion for. Go do it. Uh, Take the chances of go learning from other people who are in your profession that you want to be in, Don't be afraid to talk to different people around throughout life. Uh, there's always somebody who's been through what you've been through, and so just be able to be open to talking to different walks of life throughout, whatever you want to do. Bet on yourself. Don't be afraid to follow your dreams. A lot of people get stuck into, trying to follow a path that I got to do this and this time. I got to do this and this time. Bet on yourself and go after what you want to do.
Okay, that's good advice. I mean, the reason I asked that, I know, and once you get into middle school and you got your 4 years of high school, and a lot of people ask you, "What's your 5-year plan?" And a lot
Yeah.
of times we don't have a 5-year plan at that level. But it's sort of like, when do you start thinking of what's your 5-year plan? Because that's when something's going to come up. That's when that time is up, and you graduate high school. Excuse me, what's
Yeah.
the plan?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be once you're getting ready to graduate high school that you come up with a plan. So that's why, I try to say, hey,
Yeah.
and thank you. That's good advice. Good advice. So I'm gonna put Farrell Keys back up on the stage, and we got another one that popped up here. My man Walt's in the house. What's up, Walt?
Gentlemen.
So right now we could go bowl because we got some bowlers in the house.
Man, I'm going to need some pins. I'm going to need some pins from you guys.
Yeah, no, look, you already got me, so I ain't worried about it. So, you got me for sure. So how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Hey, man, it's just nice to see these young men, these young guys grow up into great men, and see you smiling like the proud daddy. And I'd like to say to both of you guys, I know he's very proud of you, but keep your foot on his neck because he used to do your grandfather the same way with the strength, the bowling, pool, and all the competitiveness.
Yeah.
So do not cut him any slack. He'll have to figure it out when your kids grow up and start beating you, he can get his joy in. But right now, man, stay on him because trust me,
Yeah.
he showed your grandfather no mercy.
Look,
None.
and they know right now, and I'm not going to show them any as
Yeah.
well I can. But in the last 2 years, so we're going to say 2023 and 4, before this year, I had never lost to them at bowling in anything, and I've lost to all of my kids now in bowling. So it's starting to turn. So, man, whatever.
And I
Yeah.
enjoy seeing it, man. After the way you treated me on the pool table when you were 14, when I was 14 and you were younger, just I'm glad to see it finally, man. Finally catch up to you, man.
All right. Y'all know this story better than that, and so Walt is Walt. If you don't know, so Will Jr. today's his birthday. He
Happy
turned
birthday,
29 today.
29.
Appreciate
Yeah,
Amen.
and so this would be Uncle Walt if I had a brother. This
Just
was because he beat me up on the pool table when he was 14. I had to be 8, and he treated me bad on the table, but it's all good. Huh?
Hey, Will Jr., man, does the name Garrett Ford ring a bell? You're West Virginia University, man.
Garrett Ford.
West Virginia University Hall of Fame. Yeah. Look him up.
Okay, good.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, he was there, came out of the Mather, went to Denver, came back as assistant athletic director.
Okay. Yeah.
Check him out.
What year did he play?
Oh, this is
Back in the day.
Now, so this was long before your time. It was before my time. His youngest sister is probably 3 years old, 2 years old, 3 years older than me. Yeah.
That's back when the initials was WVA.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's in your Hall of Fame, man. And I had to make sure I was getting it right. But he's in your Hall of Fame down there, yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett Ford Sr.
Garrett Ford I think I have a picture of this.
Yeah.
Wow. Nah, that's pretty cool. We had to look him up. So I know you sent me something, Walt, so thanks. So I'm gonna put the wheel on. We're gonna hit a couple of subjects. It's the after show. We got Will Jr. on here. Got Jay. He's gonna hang with us for a little while. Walt. We're gonna throw some things to see what people got, what they're talking about. Did you see the list? I know was y'all here earlier to see the list of how much things cost in 1996. So 96.
I was there.
You was there?
In those prices, yeah.
Yeah, right. I remember. Yeah, like I say, the the eggs that was less than $1. That's just hard to believe. That's crazy, especially for where they are now. That's just amazing.
It's funny.
But
We went to the when we went out the other day. I don't know. Hold on. Let me
yeah,
take
it's
a
hard
picture.
to see. But what was it?
So we was at this place called the Playground, which is kind of like a adult arcade game place in Nashville. And so on the wall, leaving out, it says "Country Roads Take Me Home."
Oh, yeah. The song. That was it. Who sings the song there? Is it Denver?
John,
Yeah,
yeah,
John Denver.
Yeah,
John.
yeah. Who's not from West Virginia? Like this.
At all.
But you know who was from West Virginia?
Yeah,
Bill
Billy
Withers.
Ray Cyrus.
Bill Withers. Bill Withers.
Yeah, Uncle Bill.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Bill
sir.
Withers. They just put his statue up in Beckley.
I heard.
yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So let me put the wheel up to see what we got real quick. Let's see if we can throw some things in there. Let's see. I'll share my screen. Give me 1 second. All right, fellas, we got it up. So wherever it stops, we just have some conversation, a little deeper conversation. We got different levels of experience on this panel now. So we'll see what we got. So we're spinning the wheel, and here we go. And wherever it stops, boom. All right. So I think we've seen this before. It's just a different level. So here's the thing, asking y'all, can you remember the last movie you went to go see? That you went to an actual theater to see? Can you remember the last movie?
Yeah, let me think. What was it called? I just went not too long ago. I'm trying to think if I went to see Trap or was it something different than that. Raven gonna make fun of me.
I got little ones, so we just went and saw Snow White. So
there you go.
Oh, you just went and saw Snow White.
Yeah, we just went and saw Snow White.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So how was it anyway?
It to me it was good, but I love a good musical. I can do a good musical and be happy. So if you don't like musicals, I wouldn't go see it. I will wait for it to come out on streaming, and then you might not watch it anyway. But I love a good musical, so I was content.
Yeah, I just seen a video about Snow White, not the movie, but it was saying that she never woke up from her sleep. That the prince was an actual angel that came and carried her away. Because there's a line in the original Snow White that said that, matter of fact, they took her and the dwarfs couldn't go. So she was going to a place that the dwarfs couldn't go. So, and it was like, where's this place? And if you look at the castle that they went to, it was like in the clouds and had the big, the glowing halo effect and all of that. So it's like Snow White never did wake up from. So it was just another way of looking at it. Like, so, but so look, it is what it is. so Jay, I can't even remember it, but I know I was with you and we was down there for Thanksgiving. So what was the movie we took the kids to see?
Moana 2.
Yeah, there it is, Moana 2. Yeah. So that was my last movie I went to a theater to see. Walt, can you remember?
I can't remember the name. And the brother from DC, Jeffrey, help me out, man. Played in Shaft. He played Peoples in Shaft too. He played a lot. Jeffrey, man, he's in a few TV shows. I can't remember, man. It'll come to me. I was just trying to look it up, man.
That's how it is. Like, it's funny with the money you pay for the movie, and you go to the movie, and then you come out of there like, what did you see? I don't remember.
Played more for the popcorn than the movie, though. But the movie was good, and I actually saw a movie last night on the small screen that I wish were at the theater because it was a great action movie.
Right.
But I don't go to movies as much as I used to, man. I guess after COVID, man, I never really made it back. Maybe once or twice since then.
So do you think that streaming hurts it, where a lot of the stuff, if you just wait long enough, it'll come on?
I mean, it's yeah, I guess for sure. But there's some things, man, you just want to see on the big screen.
Right,
There's,
right.
there's one coming out soon with Larry Fishburne that I want to see. That's coming to theaters in April 11th. I'll probably go see that. But you know, man, I'm like this. I go to the movies now. It's the first show for me, man. It's the matinee is early. I'm out the way, man. Before all everybody's in their own cell phones and taking calls and FaceTiming and the screen lights and all that, man. That's old guy stuff. But it's just like, man, it's just the movie etiquette has just gone down to me.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's just like, come on, man, cut your phone off. It can't be that important. And you
Yeah.
sit there and watch people scrolling through their phones the whole movie, man. I'm like, man, you know. So I'm just like, hey, I'd just rather sit here, watch it on the 13-inch black and white in the basement,
Mm. That's what you still sport.
man.
Hey,
Yeah, that's my
oh,
story, man. I'm sticking with it, yeah.
so, and I'm talking to all of y'all. So, when you go now, do you go through the app and actually pick your seat and all
Yes.
of that? So,
Yeah.
that's where you are now? So, picking
Yeah.
your seats out. All right. So,
Reclining seats.
are you in front of the theater or the back of the theater, the mid?
Yeah,
Where we at?
I'm in the
we in the
back,
back.
against
Yeah.
the wall, on the row, near the exit.
Oh man.
Right.
You
In
know,
the middle.
I lived my whole life just left the bank, you know. So I try to my situational awareness, man. I'm like, I'm in the back, near the exit, back up against the wall, on in the row. That's right, and then get get it early, you know. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. My wife just laughed. She's like, "You got to be the most paranoid person I know." I said, "Hey, I just can't understand what I know, you know." So that's
And I
why.
was going to ask you, is that a reason? But I guess you're saying if you're paranoid, so that having that back to so nobody's behind you, you know that you took
Yeah, I
that out
mean,
of.
and also I like to see how people even if I go to a meeting, the back of the room for me, because I like to see people's reaction to the presenter. You know,
Right.
how people taking this information, and that kind of I just like to observe that. You know, a guy that's doing events and all that kind of stuff for so long, man. I just like to see. That's how I get the real feel for what's being put down, man. In the movies, I just like to be in the back because if there's any foolishness, I like to keep it in front of me, not behind me. You know.
No, that's good point.
Yeah.
So, Junior, are you a person who stays for the after the credits and you watch all the credits through? Are you that type of person?
It depends on the movie because some of the movies they put that little hidden gem at the end. But if when the credits are coming up and it's over, I'm out.
Okay. All right. So you already know. So Jay, I'm gonna throw this one at you. Are you a person that like to show up early so you can see the previews?
Yes. Yes. Love to see what's coming up next, what the creativity out there is going on. Um, Now, sometimes, if, like, let's say we went and saw a movie. If we see two movies in the same month, I might not go see the previews. We might just show up for the movie because it may be the same
Mm.
previews. But yeah, I I'm a preview watcher.
Okay. All right. Now I do recall, and this was no, I'm not even gonna throw it out there. We'll say that right there. We'll say
That's
that
okay.
for later.
Hey, that's
No,
why I sit in the middle of the theater.
you sit in the
Still,
middle of
Yeah.
the theater. Okay.
still, I don't.
Yeah, there's always something going on out there, so there's always something popping off. Now, is there any actor or actress that's out there that if they put a movie out, I'm going to see it at the theaters? If you have anyone in your mind that I'm going to see it if they put it out, it don't even have to be an actor or actress. Say if it's a certain brand of movie, I'm going to see it. So I know a lot of people that's DC Comics. So if DC Comics put out a movie, I'm there. Or Denzel Washington put out a movie, I'm there. Is
Yeah.
there anyone? So Junior, you got anybody that you're there if they put it out?
Yeah, I got three. Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington, and Will Smith. My top
Oh
three.
wow, okay. So those three, if they put out a movie, you're there.
Yep, yep.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. What about you, Walt?
I'm pretty much right there. I'm
Oh,
pretty much
okay.
right there. Yeah, and you know, hey man, a lot of times, you know, when you hear what's coming and you hear the, I'm behind the scenes, like the behind the scenes stuff kind of grabs my attention. So I know they need butts in the seats and they need ticket sales for opening week to get it done, you know. Now there have been times that I watched stuff on TV and still bought a ticket that never made it to the theater, just to kind of keep the numbers going. You know, my part. You know, and I still make out better because popcorn is like $100 a box.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but
$20 a
I do
kernel.
miss good movie popcorn, and I do miss Raisinets, man, because you can't find Raisinets everywhere, man. But
No.
yeah.
All right, Jay, is there anybody for you?
Uh, Not actors or actresses, but I'll go see I'll go see a Marvel movie.
Wow.
You know, I'm down for that. And
Yeah.
like I said, a good musical I'll go see.
I got you.
Uh, Especially if it's coming to the big screen, that means they've done something special with it. So I want to go see what they've done different than the stage play.
I got you.
But that's
Now,
me.
now, have any one of y'all, and I will change the subject after this, but have any one of y'all ever stopped at the movie theater just for the popcorn?
Nah.
No. They got the same popcorn at the store.
Oh,
Sounds like you have though.
huh?
It sounds like you have.
100%. Yeah. On your way home, can you stop at the movie theater and pick up some
Oh man,
popcorn?
get the popcorn,
Yeah.
man.
No, it's just a different. It
Yeah.
just tastes different, man. When you get that popcorn with the butter and all that, it's like, hey, can you stop by? It's like you're stopping at the store to get something. Like, can you stop by the movie theater to pick up some popcorn? You just walk right on in there, go
Yeah.
straight to the counter, pick up your popcorn, walk right out the door.
Brother,
You're like, I'm done. That's it.
It's an endorphin in your brain that makes it taste better. I
Yeah,
get the same feeling when I watch softball, and I'm like, "Where the sunflower seeds at?"
Oh yeah.
Too much playing
but
baseball.
You can't even play. Yeah, you gotta have something to put sunflower seeds. Yeah.
but the first one that got you hooked was what? And you look right past. Jay, you probably know because you just took some kids to see Cinderella. I don't know what it is about McDonald's French fries.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody, let's eat before we leave. My grandkids, let's eat before we leave the house. Yada yada yada. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. Can we stop at McDonald's? You know,
Yeah.
man. And I just even now at 61 years old, man. Sometimes I'll just go get me a small bag of McDonald's fries, man.
Before you go in.
Yeah, I just like man, just riding down the road eating McDonald's fries. Is like man, that's one of my guilty pleasures. Maybe once a month, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the statute of limitations should be gone for all of y'all. So I'm gonna ask you, how many of y'all have ever movie hopped? Been in there to see and went to watched, pay for one movie, but went and saw two or three. Come on now.
Not since Martinsburg.
Not since Martinsburg.
When
Okay.
I was the only person in the theater.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah.
Will you ever hop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did once.
Yeah. You and then Walt, you said you hopped some.
Oh yeah, back in the day, and then we used to have the midnight movies, you know, all night, man. I was like kids off the street
That was at Riverdale.
in Riverdale, and
Yeah.
before your not before your time, Hampton Mall used to
Hampton Mall, yeah.
have.
Hampton Mall only had two theaters, so it was
Yeah,
easy.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Riverdale used to do when we were growing up, but they used to have a all night movie. It'd be like it could be all karate movies, it could be all rap movies or something, but it was all night. We paid $5 or whatever. We was there all night, and then right outside the movie theater was a 24-hour IHOP. So we all left the movie theater, went straight to IHOP. So it's like, hey, we good. We good. And then it's like, go home. So I always just wondered, where was my parents at that time? So nah. She knew where I was at. I told her where I was at. And we got back home. We were safe. Yeah, 100%. So let me put the wheel back up. So thank you, fellas, for taking me through the movie time. That's flashbacks, some good flashbacks there. So I'm going to put the wheel back up real quick. And all right, so, and to see what we got going on.
Nisi said, get a big bag and take your own snacks.
100%. Man. We did that for sure, without a doubt. Education. All right. All right, so education is the next one up. And let me see if I can get it off. Okay. Give me a second. So we got the education. So here's the thing. Street smart or book smart? Which one? Which one is better?
Ooh.
Street smart.
Yes. He says yes.
Yes. Because you have to know how to apply book smarts. So that's where the street smarts come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
The application of knowledge is that's your wisdom piece right there. So you have to be able to apply it and keep it in perspective. But yeah, I mean, I don't. I think it's and also my opinion, and also not either or, and also. Yeah. And sometimes street smarts
Right.
just come with common sense, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. I know some guys that I always mess with them. I say another mind ruined by higher education. Like you got to be able to just you need both, man. I just think you need both. But I would never ever discount education. And education doesn't always have to be formal either, right?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that's more where I was going
Mhm.
with the street smart, and it don't have to be in the streets,
Right, right.
excuse me, but it's outside of that traditional classroom,
Yes, yes.
And Will, I know that you definitely still in a higher education, even though you're coaching, you deal with a lot of kids that's coming in that from so many different places. So some of them already have some experience,
Mm-hmm.
and then some of them coming in, you like, where did you grow up at, or what little town did you come from? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you like some of the things that they do and even say, you're like, there's no way that you don't know about that, or I wish somebody would have told you about that,
Yeah.
or someone should have told you about that. I know that we said a lot that both of y'all did. Y'all grew up in a sheltered life in that sense that you didn't have to worry about so much of uh, the rough and tough part of growing up, but at the same time, y'all went to cities after that, so you got it. So is that but it's like they wasn't ready for that smoke when they were little kids. Like I
Man,
used to
that's
tell them,
amazing.
don't. Huh?
That's amazing. I mean, not. I mean, think about it, man. Back in the day, I mean, it almost sounds like child abuse now, but man, it was nothing to see a kid, a latchkey kid, or a kid walking home from school, or I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
guess the world wasn't as crazy, but it's just like, we get on our bicycles, man, and of course, don't go past such and such, and man, we be on the other side of the world, just riding bikes, man. I mean, it's before cell phones and video cameras and all that. Every now and then you come home, get punished, somebody run into you going down Central Avenue, but hey man, it's we're here. So every generation figures it out. That's all it is. Every
Yeah.
generation, you guys figured it out. We figured it out. Big Jack figured it out because we got about every generation, man. They figure it out. But some of the stuff now, man, I'm like, I think with the internet, you don't get the context that you used to get.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to go to the library, you had to read the books, you had to quote the sources, you had to, people challenge your thinking. Everything you heard wasn't true just because it got likes and shares and stuff.
Views.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no offense to the YouTube guy over there, but yeah. So this the world we live in. But I love to learn, and I found more information since I've matured, as you mature and as you have life experiences, some of the stuff that you thought you knew, it just gives you a different perspective on what you already know. So it's pretty cool. Education is pretty
So, and I hear exactly what you're saying. So I'm gonna ask Will. So as a coach, do you find yourself being that more like either big brother or uncle, or young father to some of the people that come across you when in the coaching? I know everything isn't about working out. I know it got to be some life lessons that's being shared. So how do you feel about that, or
Yeah.
do you have that experience?
Yeah. Definitely. I got some people that call me big bro or unc. You know, and it's nothing disrespectful, but it's because they see you we're older. I've been in college. They have somebody to talk to. 'Cause a lot of them don't have any family around, so they come to us and talk to us about different situations. Like recently, with our head coach leaving, a lot of guys are like, "Should I enter the portal or not?" And they start talking to you about that situation, and you're like, hey, sometimes you gotta do what's best for you. I said, maybe you want to sit around, look for the coach, see what they're about to bring in, because you lose people, you gotta add people, and you're still here. So, you leave, you starting over, things like that happen, where you're already here, you know, positions are wide open. A lot of the kids will talk to you about relationships. We get a lot of that. mental health. We get a lot of that, and just not really like so much on like they're in a bad, depressed situation, but it's more of how can I deal with this issue or different issues like that. So it's just trying to give them some advice to help them through life.
Hmm. No, that's good stuff because the thing is, I know we stopped on the wheel stopped on education, but all like I say, everything doesn't come out of a book and everything doesn't come from sitting in a classroom. So some of your own experiences and being able to share that information, and you're still going through the same. I'm going through the same thing you're going through, but I got to talk you off the ledge, like you talked about with the coach. When the
Yep.
coach left, he left you too. So
Yep.
you sit there like, okay, where am I at? Where's my job? Where's it? So I got to
Yep.
keep you calm and relaxed. But at the same time, I'm looking at it like, wait a minute, I got to
Yep.
start looking at my career and what's going on. So I got to
Not
look at
are
that
you
as
are you
much.
leaving?
Yeah, right. So that they might be asking you that. So
Yep.
those are things that you got to look at as well as, yeah, I'm talking to you, but at the same time, I can't show you that I'm going through and I have pain, even though I can say I know how you feel, I can tell you this, but I know a lot of times, like you said, when you was a kid, you didn't know if we were rich or poor or middle class or what, because you just knew I was just alive. You didn't
Yeah.
know that I'm out there working two jobs, and then you out there, you knew that I was there because my dad worked at the bowling alley. Okay, yeah, he worked at the bowling alley, but that wasn't his regular job. So wait a minute, that's two jobs. And he
Yeah.
also worked at the college. So that is three jobs. So this guy, did he ever at home? Because he's always working. But and that's where, but you got to keep a roof over your head and clothes on your back and food on the table. But that's part of the education part as well. So Jay, I hear the little kids in the back. I got my grandkids. I hear them. So as a parent, do you find yourself having to what's up, Mr. Connor? But do you find yourself as a parent in the education world or educating your kids on life lessons and things like that?
Yeah, uh, and it's usually because another kid has done something different than what we usually do. So now you got to explain why we don't do this, or why you can't go here, or why you can't be a part of this thing or that thing, or why we do certain things that they don't do or have never done. So, and then with all my children, they've all been in sports and other activities, so I end up, you know, coaching their teams or working at summer camps and stuff like that. So then you end up with their friends and, trying to be an example to their friends, and sometimes their friends change uh the way that they act because they're around, our kids or my kids, instead of just, the way they were acting before, because now one of them is not doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. They're not acting while the teacher is talking, and now their friends are all sitting down and paying attention because you not participating in what we're doing. So there must be something to what they have to say. And I got to really learn that during, coaching t-ball and teaching kids choirs and stuff like that. Like, if you get a couple kids and you instill in them that this is how we do something, it'll trickle down
Yeah.
and it'll start changing the entire facet of the room or the atmosphere. Um, and that it's one thing we have to do, is like just being in those positions, is just make sure that we set the example right off the bat. That way it just trickles down. You don't have to fight it, because it'll do it naturally.
Mhm.
Man.
Very good points.
Stuff.
Very good points. So very good points. I appreciate that. So I know Will, you probably have to, as a coach, you use in that same mindset. If I can get one or two, especially you go after those big players, the captains, the
Yep.
ones that everybody like. If I can get that person to buy in, and that's a life lesson right there. If I can get that one, no different than when you're teaching the lesson. So that's why the bigger people have it harder than smaller people. I'm just being straight up with you because see, I might have been a bigger kid, But when that 14-year-old walked in the rec center and started bullying me, he was trying to show all the other little kids, don't mess around because I'm big dude. But no,
We're not gonna let the
just,
fact get in the way of a good story, man.
nah. Look. You already know. But look, the friendship that we started that was worth the whooping on the pool table. So I'll take the whooping on the pool table.
One question. Now that I have all three of you guys in one place and Mama Jack in chats, can you finally admit, you first, Big Jack, and Jay and Will, that all of this information that you are now giving people is all has been R&D, ripped off and duplicated. Because, right? So all that information that you thought was crazy, now you find yourself saying the same thing that you taught, because it never gets old, man. Yeah. There's certain things, certain life lessons that just never get old. And of course, when
I use all his lessons from what he was teaching us back in the day. I use every single one of them. No matter what situation I'm in, I'm like, man, I know somebody said that to me one day, and it would be like, oh yeah, I know, I remember who said that. Why is that coming back to my memory?
But it ages well, doesn't it? It's stood the test of time. I mean, it's good information, man. So there it is. And Will, answer this for me, man. I know how the young guys look at you. Do you get any resistance from the older coaches? Any resentment, any resistance? Some of your techniques may be different. You know, we've been doing this 100 years this way. So why are you coming here trying to change things? Tell me how that plays out in your career.
Certain coaches will give you a little bit of kickback, and it's more really like conditioning, like not running a lot, or we need to run more, and so we got to sit down and have that conversation with them, because you'll be like, sometimes with these kids nowadays, more back in the day, y'all could do more. Y'all can go and be ran into the ground, and y'all would rise because y'all are tough. Y'all used to that. You used to being outside. You used to, riding your bike all the way around the world, and you come back home. You're used to that. These kids nowadays, they go lift, they going back to bed. They go to bed to class to the video game. They're not used to being ran into the ground.
Yeah,
it's a whole different story now.
So what?
And then look, and that's so true, because I'm just thinking of myself when, like you said, Walt, we rode that bike all over the place. I walked a country mile every day, all the day. And now I have a hard time getting to the mailbox. Like, what the heck?
But if you
like, what happened? Yo,
hey man,
good gracious.
The kids in our day, it was you can't go out and play.
That was a punishment.
Now you throw them out the house. Don't come back in here without a frog or a snake or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I'm not going outside. This is tired. Oh man. Yeah. So my grandson, fortunately, man, he just likes to get out and go, man. So I really appreciate his energy, because of video games and all that kind of stuff. You kind of, and I'm a gamer too, but you kind of get away from that, man. I mean, like back in the day, you can't even run them around up and down, like at the fire department. You can't even run them up and down the tower like you used to. It used to be punishment. You mess up something, you mess up a drill, okay, give me 2 towers, 7 stories, let's go. And now it's like, you can't do that. You guys nowadays,
punish.
Huh?
Can't punish in the NCAA.
Look, okay. Think about it.
Punish.
That's everywhere. You can't punish.
Think about it, man. You would have to fall out from heat, almost have a heat stroke before they give you water back. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's just different. It's just different, man. So, hey, man, shout out to you guys, man. I think that's a great thing that you're doing. I think it's cool that you get to live your dream. I think it's cool that you did it. You had a guy who raised you that did it, so you get to kind of compare notes. And even in the music world, man, I mean, everybody's sampling and all that. But, hey, Jay, you still need to be a musician. You still need to know how to play music. You just can't, to do a live performance, you need to know how to do that. You just can't, be a studio musician and then get out on stage and have presence and all that good stuff, man. So even with that, man, when you're showing the kids how to do it, that's a good thing, man. That's big. I'm glad to see you guys understanding that needs to be carried on, man. So good for you guys, man.
All right, so we're still on the topic of education. I'm gonna throw one more out there just because. Is AI ruining education?
I'm gonna jump on this one.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
jump first.
Go ahead.
It if you rely on it to teach your class or teach whatever, yes, it's ruining it. But if you need help, if you need to throw an idea out there and you need somebody to give you feedback that's going to be unbiased, AI is going to be a great friend. You could just throw your idea out there. Hey, whatever. Hey, GPT, blah 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 blah, and it's going to give you points and details, pros and cons,
Yeah.
whatever. And then at that moment you could be like, oh, okay, I see where this could be here, and I see where this doesn't work, and I can see how this applies to these kids and not to these kids and stuff like that. But if you're going to rely on it all the way, like whatever it says, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. It's you gonna fail before you even start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
can
say yes,
respect that.
yes and no, yes and no, because
Okay.
some people depend on it way too much and don't do their own research, and that's part of learning is getting your sources from different people, seeing different perspectives on the same topic. When you use ChatGPT, it's going to give you it's pulling it from somewhere you don't know where all the time, so you just getting one viewpoint. But it's good because it can help you structure all your papers. It can help you structure a whole lot of different things that would take you 5 hours or 5 days. It can do in 30 seconds, and that's a game changer right there. So if you're using it, to assist you instead of do it for you, that's a different tool.
No, I appreciate that. No, that's good stuff. Walt, you got anything to add to it, or you right
Man,
there?
that's it. But again, you will tell when you get deep into it, when you get into that thing, whatever that thing is, even in the YouTube world, you will know the contenders from the pretenders eventually.
Right,
Because
right.
when you get this a Jack, it's just like golf. It's like, eventually, man, when the pressure's on, any sport, anything, when the pressure's on, you don't rise to the occasion. You basically fall to your level of training, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100.
Yeah.
I,
So
I say it all the time, and I keep on saying you play the way you practice.
yeah,
So if you practice soft, or if you practice letting somebody else do the work for you when it's time to play and it's time for that rubber to meet the road,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to perform. You're not even going to know how to perform. You're not going to be able to talk for yourself because you've never talked for yourself.
if,
You've only used someone else's to do it for you. That's no
Mhm.
different than that person who, like you said, you got the participation trophy and you was on the team. But if you ever had to get in the game, it was funny. We was watching the game the other day, and it was the players was running up and down the court, and they, you could tell it was tight, and they kept going. And my wife made the comment. She was like, "Well, they got a bench full of players. Why they don't put them in?" I'm like, "They ain't getting it.
Yeah.
They on the team, but they
but
not getting in this game." I said, "There's only one that might get in, and they're sitting right behind the coach. The rest of them down that line, they're not getting in this
Yeah.
game.
John,
It have to really get bad for them to get in."
Coach John Thompson used to say, I used to tell him, don't worry about who I start, you worry about who I finish, who gets to finish. Now
That's
that's
right. That's the bottom line right there.
bottom line right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Now
But
that's the bottom line.
we
Y'all
can't
got time for one more?
yeah. Mhm.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
sir.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely, no,
All
no,
right.
absolutely.
So I don't know. Did y'all see the video? Jay, was you on to see the video? Will Junior doing his lift?
My back hurts. Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
Oh
I
yeah.
watched most of his videos.
So I want to critique it real quick since since I got y'all on the stage now. So we're gonna back them up. We're gonna back them up a little bit. So he had a full squat. So that's the full squat right there. That right there is
Yeah.
competition 100% because
Yeah.
you got to break parallel. So your butt got to fall beneath the knees, and when you come back up, you got to be under control. 100% under control. He go down, he come up. You got to be under control, and then you got to rack it yourself. He did everything right. Yeah, so he did everything right there. So that was 600. All right, so right there. So Miss Lyric on the stage. Hey Lyric, how you doing? So but 605 for now 39. So 29. I'm sorry, 39. Good. You think you can put that on your back right now?
605.
At 29?
No. I
No.
haven't listened that heavy in a while.
You know what? Okay.
There's just no reason to.
Hey,
My goal was to beat you, but I stopped that goal.
hey, shout out to you.
No.
Shout out to you, Jackson.
Look, in all respect,
pound for pound. You gave him the pound for
pound
pound.
for pound. I gave him. Look,
hey, man,
look.
I'm proud of you for that, man. I know that was hard to do.
Oh yeah. Look, when I saw him do it, I was like, he got me. There's no way. If we had to go pound for pound, and I don't even know what you weighed at that time, but I was 242 when I did my 7.
I was like 195, 200.
So 195. I was 242 when I did my 7. So so that was my weight class I was in, the 242. So so at that time, at 700 pounds, 242, if we actually pound for pound, you got me. So I'll give you that now, 100%.
Can I get you guys to elaborate on the first time you thought that maybe you could try the big fella? And I'm not just talking about. I'm not talking about sport. I'm talking about, you swole up, you got your chest all big. You thought maybe you could. Tell me that story, man.
I got a story. So we used to go up to his house in the summertime. This was like I was in high school. We used to go up there because we had to split time with our parents. So our dad would take us in the summer, and he had a MMA gym that was close to his house, and we would go train there. So one day, it's a small class. We're all in there training, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, you want to jump in?" So he's like, "Yeah, I'll jump in." So it's me and him going against each other. We start out. I go. They ring the bell. I give him a Superman punch right to the chin. He eats it. I just looked at him and said, "Yeah, he got it." That was my best. I said, "I'll never try him again."
Yeah.
And then I think after that, he tossed me. He tossed me down. It was one of those dad tosses. Was like, I could really hurt you, but I'm gonna put you over here.
Wait. You Superman punch him. He grabbed you and tossed you.
Yeah.
That wasn't no dad toss at that moment. That was
No. Because he could have really
Yeah.
tossed it, but
it was like you was in the
okay.
air and he stopped and realized who he was throwing across the cage.
Yeah.
That's there you go. I mean,
I was upset with the fact that he tried to Superman me right off the bat. Yeah, he's trying to take me out. That's crazy.
Right first, man. You got to go first. You got to hit him first.
It's the only time I'm gonna ever get the chance.
You don't need
the chance. That's just it. I ain't never tried ever again.
I probably would have got him before the bell rang too, but you a good sport.
Look, all I remember hearing is the guy that owned the gym, like, all right, Dad, all right, that's enough, Dad. Like, I don't believe he tried to punch me. What's up? But no, that look. Well, they was definitely some good. I got good boys. They definitely they're not boys, they're men. And got my grandbaby sitting right there, and he's 29 years old. But yeah, I remember that day in the ring. Both of them wanted to get in that ring with me, and I'm sitting there like, I don't know if they ever was mad enough to want to stand toe to toe with me. I don't think we've ever been in that situation. But at the same time,
right?
Yeah, you that small.
Yeah, I remember the first time I put my hands up at my father. I thought I was going to try to, one to the solar plex, one to the throat. I don't slap box and I don't play. So you're not going to practice on me to try to figure me out. He said, when you come for me, you better be ready, and I'm like, I have
better be ready.
That day, I was like, okay, man. Yeah, but them dude, I'm like, oh man, geez, come on, man. Good gracious. But
that's
we don't
crazy.
have that moment, man. So you guys get ready because it's coming for you. Maybe not you right there, Jay, but eventually somebody's coming for you. You know what I mean? Somebody's coming for you.
And that's the thing. You do try your best to set it up so that your kids or those who are watching you, they want to get to your spot. Like Will made a comment. I know Jay did the same thing. I'm trying to get your awards. I'm trying to get your trophies. I'm trying to get your records. I'm trying to get your. And that's a good thing. I'm glad that you won it. I'm glad that I got something for you to chase after. But at the same time, and you're all building your own. You're building your own now. That there's people behind you. Like when you squatted that 605 in that gym, you don't know how many players on that team is now motivated to beat Coach Will. I'm gonna beat Coach Will. I gotta get Coach Will, and that right there, it changes the game. If that's what it takes for you to beat me, if that's gonna make you a better person, then come on down. Because I'm gonna tell you this, and your granddad Nash did the same thing, and Grandma Jackson same thing. That we're never gonna let you win. We're not gonna let you win. But when you win, you can walk off and say, "Hey, I finally did it. I got there." So that's no different than beat me in bowling. If you beat me one game, I'm already looking at the set. Because nobody bowls a game. We bowl a set. So don't beat me in one game. Beat me in a set. You beat me one set, we got something to talk about because that means you put 3 games together.
See if it's real. Yeah. That's good, man. I tell you what, man. Kudos to you guys, man. I mean, this is great because he's told me a lot of the stuff. I remember Fred telling me about him, and we bowl together. He's telling me stories, man. He's like, yeah, they got me, man. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Even before you got it, it's just a matter of time. It's just like I know it's coming, And I said, "You're gonna be all right." He said, I'm gonna be okay, man. But they got me. You know what I mean? That was pretty cool, man. So yeah.
No, I remember when Junior beat me. Junior beat me in Vegas. So we was in Vegas bowling, and he beat me in Vegas. And I'm sitting like, man, I'm paying for this trip. And he beat me. Like, what kind of mess is this? Then I go to West Virginia, and Jay beat me. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then the younger brother beat me, and I'm like, well, something ain't right. Something just ain't right. Now I got to go get new bowling balls. I got everything because something ain't right. Now I shouldn't be losing to everybody. But,
man, that's what it is, bro.
That's part of life.
Yeah.
So I got to recognize some of the people down in the chat real quick. Amelia Loves Ariel was down there, and she made a shout out to the Barbie fashionist, Barbie doll. She's holding this Disney girl knows her dolls. So she's talking about you, Lyric. So there you go. So Amelia Loves Ariel always asks, and she didn't answer yet, but she normally asks, what's your favorite Disney princess? So think about that. Who's your favorite Disney princess? So we got Sharon Jackson saying age, and I'm not sure which age that you're talking about. Now, Desi's in the house. Cindy Lifestyles and more, thank you for popping in and hanging with us on this after show. And I see again, Desi's here. We said that. Denise Jackson, Karen Jackson. We keep going up. Raven Parr's in the house. And then we keep going. And there's been a lot of different people popped in and out, so it's hard to catch up on all of them. But we thank everyone that's been in the chat and that hung out with us as we just discussed Will Jr. on his 29th birthday today. And I know he had a lot of things he could have done, but he decided, well, he graced me and allowed him to be on the show today. So I thank you. And Niecy Jackson made a comment, your boy's beating you. So
what age?
Yeah. What age or what?
That where we're beating you.
It was just in the last couple of years. So
I was 28.
Yeah.
28, 29. Yeah. How Marcus got you early though. He got an advantage.
Oh yeah. Marcus.
Yeah.
With the 2 hands, yes, sir. Yes.
Oh yeah.
See, this is the difference.
Yeah.
Those are for the world to see because they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, man. So
we got it on camera. But look, he knows everything I taught him.
Hey,
so I taught him well. That's how much. That's how much if you take a break because look, when they were younger, they fought each other so bad on the lanes that they used to upset the other people they were bowling because they thought that they were going after them, but they wasn't. They was going after each other.
Yeah, they're just in the way. It's like
Jay sat there in a no-tap tournament, 11 in a row in a no-tap tournament, 11 in a row. Wow. So, and then, where was you? I don't even know how old you were. How old were you at that time? You had to be what? I would say 10, maybe 10, 11, maybe.
Had to be in middle school. Yeah.
Middle school. Okay, so now he's up on number 12. You know, you got to throw 12 of them. So he's up on number 12. His number one fan is right behind him, cheering him on. He got everybody in the bowling alley cheering him on as he goes to throw this 12th strike. He got to throw number 12. Where you put number 12 at, Jay?
Straight in the gutter.
Oh, man.
everybody cheering. I throw the ball. He didn't make the lane. It was straight in the gutter.
Because he laughed before he threw it.
Yep.
He said,
I won the tournament.
Nervous.
Yeah, I was nervous. I was smiling, shaking. I won the tournament. But
we went 1 and 2.
Yep.
Wow.
We went 1 and 2.
They were first and second place.
Wow.
But yeah, he threw number 12 straight in the gutter. So for those who don't know out there that's listening to this, for a perfect game, you got to have 12 strikes in a row. He had 11 strikes in a row and took the 12th strike and threw it in the gutter. So, I mean, in a real gutter. And it's funny because I'm standing back there super excited, super proud for him. And when he went in the gutter, all I could do is try my best not to laugh at him. Because I know what he was feeling.
You know, we just had a 300 last week and a 299 on Friday, Jack. But I'm bowling like the next lane's over. So as the guy, 2 lanes, the next 2 lanes over, you don't want to be the guy in the way. So you don't want to break the guy's rhythm, right? But what I hate, man, the bowling alley gets quiet. There's always a guy from the other end of the lanes, rolling like a 130 in the 10th frame. And he comes in, all right, man, this is all you got to do. Just relax. Just like let it go, man. Let it flow. Now, the good thing is, Jay, you were able to laugh. That was pretty funny, man. That's cool. That's cool, man. Your father laughed, so that's great. I know, Will, you probably secretly laughed too, didn't
you? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody's like, it's cool, though.
Yeah, because the average guy is going to laugh, not
he still won, though.
11, but 12, that's, you don't get 300s every week, man. So, hey, man, that's bold. Man. So, when was the last time you guys went out bold?
All together?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
All together is hard, yeah. It's been a while, all of us, but normally if I get with one, I will go bowling. This time when Junior was up here, he didn't get to go out, but we'll go out. And the Thanksgiving time when I was with Jay, we went out and bowled. Matter of fact, I went live, and we went live from the bowling alley. So yeah. But we try to get out there as much as possible. To get everybody together is hard to get us all, because you got the group in Tennessee, group in West Virginia, and then we're here in Maryland. So it's a little tough to get us all together. But matter of fact, it was Granddad Nash's memorial service would have to been the last time we all got out there.
Yeah. So I'm going to, as your manager, both of you guys, I'm going to give you a word of advice. If you start playing golf, leave them alone.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, he tough.
Man, he came into that tournament, that tour, and just wreaked havoc, man. I mean, just starting out. And he was killing. He was collecting hardware every week, man. Because he's now in bowling, in golf, athletes, they die quick.
Oh, different beasts.
Yeah, man. They because you come in there trying to muscle the ball, yada yada yada. Yeah. And am I right, Jack? It's a lot too.
Oh yeah.
So trust me, if you start golfing, get some reps under your belt before you go challenging, man, because he's good at that thing, man. He's pretty good at it. So please go get some reps under your belt, man. I took an L within his first probably 8-9 months. I was done. I took my first L from him in 8-9 months, man. I mean, he was that driven when it came to golf, man. He's that disciplined. So, and that's golf.
Hey, Jan,
look.
Marcus challenged.
Huh?
Marcus challenged you to what?
He said he could score 50 on me in basketball.
Basketball.
Marcus said for a challenge. Look,
Yes,
Will
hey,
used to
that
make
old.
people mad. They would not want Will to guard them because he would be in their business the entire time,
Ain't
slapping
that
them,
old.
getting these little finger slaps in, and they'd be
Man,
like, "Coach, he fouling me. He fouling me." It's like they ain't called nothing.
I remember Fred and I,
Yep.
man, we went and bought a basketball. We were working together. And we in the office talking trash about bowling and golf and pool. And he said, I said, but you can't get me in basketball. He said, really? And man, he lit me up, man. He just lit me up. And the thing is, when I had the ball, it's all of this. Oh
Yeah.
man, you're not bleeding. How can you have a foul? You're not. I don't see any blood, right? And then when he would get the ball, it's just out here all day. It's just like all
J's.
yeah, just
Ain't
nothing but
to the
fun.
whole
Yeah, see,
J's.
we literally went and bought a basketball and a pump to do this. And man, he beat the brakes off of me, man. He beat me on horse. He beat me playing 211, and he just got me, man. I'm like, golly.
You get mad at him because he'll shoot free throws underhanded.
Oh man, yeah.
Like you
I
know,
said, man, what kind of freak Barry stuff is that, man? Yeah, man.
underhand free throws and dish you
Underhand
straight
free
off.
throws.
Like
That
what
all
the
about
heck?
free throws, man. You
And
absolutely
look, in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
He ain't got on no gym short, nothing.
Yeah. And then he did look like, okay, son, I'm going to do this to you. Okay, I'm going to do that to you. I'm like, man, just cut it. Had the girls from the office looking at us, man. They met us up right over in Glendale, over by Mildred's house.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that was that court he took me to all the time,
yeah,
beat me up. So I'll just drop this real quick. Amelia loves Ariel. I have a question for the fathers. What Disney film have you been made to watch 1,000 times and still can stand the Disney princess singing the song? So we know where that's going. So what film have you been made to watch 1,000 times and still can stand the Disney princess singing the song? Have any of y'all out there had to?
Moana is the only one that we can watch over and over, and I can be cool with. Everything else is, we get one or two, and then we done.
I'm out of there.
Okay, Moana. That's a good one.
Only Disney princess we watch it's Moana and Snow White. So that's
Moana
the
and
only
Snow
one.
White. Okay, that's it. Those are the only ones. All right. So, Walt, have you ever had that experience where you had to watch
my
it?
daughter is 43. Let's start with that.
Okay.
So I haven't been to a Disney movie in a while because my granddaughter, her parents take her to them. I haven't taken any Disney movies, But I'm trying to think of the last movie they went to see that she called me and told me about, and then we watched it like 3 or 4 times on streaming. I can't remember what it was.
Right.
Yeah, but I hey, bro, I've been out of the Disney game for a while, man. So yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Now, Junior, you're not a father, but is there any Disney movies that you had to watch or thought you had to watch or dislike to watch just because you like it?
Yeah, when I was in Texas, I used to go back to my cousin's house, and I'll help babysit my little cousin. So I've seen Frozen probably 50 times.
Yeah.
That
That was on my mind right there. So let us know. Oh my God, let us know. Yeah. So, and I've seen Frozen in the movie theater. I've seen Frozen on Broadway, and I've seen Frozen on ice. So, and look, I have no girls. So I'm trying to figure out why I've seen all this Frozen, but I have no girls. I got all boys, but I've seen Frozen on ice, Frozen on Broadway, and I've seen Frozen I seen Frozen. I'm sorry, at the movie theater. So Frozen will definitely be that one movie that I had to watch over and over and over.
Yeah, that lyric said, "And Encanto." We
I don't even know what that is.
the one that
That's Encanto.
Yeah.
We
Anaconda?
went to see it at Disney on Ice.
Okay. All right. There you go. So that was a good question, and we got the answer out. So, but I like Ariel, and do you want to build a snowman, and all of the other stuff that goes with that. And so yeah, well that's cool. That's cool. So we got well, dang, we ran out of time. Oh man. So look, uh, yeah, that was thanks. Thank you. Yeah. But we with the after show, we try to stop the after show around at that 1 hour mark, and it's what it's 9 o'clock for me here on the East Coast, but it means it's 8 o'clock for you there, right, Junior, where you are?
Yeah, 8
Yeah,
o'clock.
yeah. Okay. All right. So we but I thank you all for being on the stage with us. Happy birthday again to you, Will Jr. And thank you for
Appreciate it.
spending your time with us. Thank you for everybody that was in the chat and that has supported this time and some of the flashbacks that we went through. I think we hit all of them. That 605 lift, the time that this the baby and the baby on the blanket, and we went on up through his elementary, his middle school, high school days, graduating college. And Will, at 29 years old, you have a lot of experiences, a lot of things that you have experienced. And super, as a father, proud of you and all the things that you're doing. And I know you're only just beginning because 29 is still young. And keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. And again, super proud. Jay, you got anything to say to Will before we roll?
Nah, man, just happy birthday. You almost there, man. Almost dirty 30. Almost.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right. Walt, you got anything to drop?
Hey man, I appreciate you guys allowing me in to crash the party, man.
Yes,
You want to open and close this show with Sly Stone. It's a family affair. And hey man, just keep pushing both of you guys. I'm proud of you, man. And Big Jack, man, you've done a great job. And just keep up the good work, man. So congratulations and happy birthday to you, brother.
All right. Will, I'm going to turn this one over to you.
you.
You can go ahead and close us out, Brian. If you got anything you want to say or share. And once you finish, we're going to shut the show down.
Thank you, Big Jack, for having me on again. Thank all y'all for being on the after show. Thank everybody who was watching and supporting my dad, making the Iron Sharpening Iron show come to this big thing. Keep supporting them. Keep doing what you do, Dad. Proud of you too. Proud of you, Jan, for making me an uncle. Appreciate it. Love all them. Love y'all. Thanks, Walt, pushing my dad. You know, being a friend to him. Thank everybody again for being on the show. Love all y'all.
All right, man. Hey, we thank you. I love you too, Will. Thank you. Happy birthday to you. To everyone out there, we're going to say good night to you. Stay blessed. Peace. And we'll talk to you next time. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.